Probably one of the things I've never been really good at is shaping services around events. And this week we have the holiday Memorial Day. And how do you gear a message to Memorial Day that applies to the rest of the folks who are present that day? And sometimes that can be very challenging. But this morning, what I want to do is speak from Psalm 114. So I'd like you to turn with me to Psalm 114, that we might begin by reading it. Excuse me, Psalm 144, not 114. Psalm 144. Everywhere, I think, but on my PowerPoint, it's 144. Psalm 144, Psalm of David. Praise be to the Lord my rock, who trains my hands for war, my fingers for battle. He is my loving God and my fortress, my stronghold and my deliverer, my shield in whom I take refuge, who subdues peoples under me. O Lord, what is man that you care for him? The Son of Man that you think of him? Man is like a breath. His days are like a fleeting shadow. Part your heavens, O Lord, and come down. Touch the mountains so they smoke. Send forth lightning and scatter the enemies. Shoot your arrows and rout them. Reach down your hand from on high. Deliver me and rescue me from the mighty waters, from the hands of foreigners whose mouths are full of lies, whose right hands are deceitful. I will sing a new song to you, O God. On the 10-string lyre, I will make music to you. To the one who gives victory to kings, who delivers his servant David from the deadly sword. Deliver me and rescue me from the hands of foreigners. Then our sons in their youth will be like well-nurtured plants, and our daughters will be like pillars, carved to adorn a palace. Our barns will be filled with every kind of provision. Our sheep will increase by thousands, by tens of thousands in our fields. Our oxen will draw heavy loads. There will be no breaching of walls, no going into captivity, no cry of distress in our streets. Blessed are the people of whom this is true. Blessed are the people whose God is the Lord. Since we live in the community of Fort Gordon, we regularly are witness to the transfer, the deployment, the return of many American soldiers. And we do, in fact, owe a great debt of gratitude to these men and women and many others who have gone before them, who have offered limb and life in the service of this country. Well, this psalm was written by the warrior king, David, and has often been referred to as the soldier's psalm. It has brought encouragement and hope to many servicemen and women through the years. And while it is called a soldier's psalm, its truths are not just reserved for soldiers. Its truths are our truths. So let's take some time this morning and see what we can learn from this psalm, this soldier's psalm. The first thing that we can learn is we can learn about the basis of life. the basis of life. The first words of this psalm speak about the very basis of living. David said, "Blessed be the Lord, my rock." You see, we often need something solid to stand on. You see, life can be overwhelming to us. We've all felt it. Some of us may feel it right now. But David is telling us here that God is the rock on which we must base ourselves. In Psalm 61 verse 2, he puts it this way: "When I am overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I." Now we could move forward to Jesus. And what Jesus says at the conclusion of the Sermon on the Mount. You see, you remember this? He talked about two men. He talked about the fact that they were building homes, and one of them built their home upon rock, and the other built their home upon sand. And every night those men would go to bed and sleep soundly, feeling safe and secure in their homes. But then the storm came. And the house that had been built upon the sand collapsed in the midst of the storm. But the house built upon the rock stood firm. And as Jesus told this parable, he revealed something to his disciples. He said this: "Whoever hears the sayings of mine and obeys them builds on a solid foundation. But the person who hears me, he does not do the things that I say, builds on sand." You may remember actor Matthew Perry of this TV series Friends. He once said this: "I have all this money and fancy cars and beautiful girls, but it doesn't make me happy." You see, he was trying to build his life on the wrong things. And I have to be honest, it breaks my heart when I hear young people talk about their desire for money, for an ideal companion, for possessions, because they're setting themselves up for unhappiness. Because those who have it will tell you, Christ alone is the only basis we have for life and happiness. He is the rock of ages. He is the sure foundation. And he calls us to be his disciples and to build our lives on the foundations of his teaching and of his person. The Gideons once published a story, an account of a U.S. soldier by the name of Joe Padalna. He was shot down in Vietnam in 1972. And he was expecting to be captured by the enemy. And he had given up hope, and he had taken his gun and he had put it to his own head, figuring it would be better to die than to be